This episode is brought to you by marketing consulting firm The Bonafide Lyrics and Marketing, LLC, where creativity meets business. You can check us out at www.theblm.com for more information on how we help local artists and creatives maximize their business presence. Yeah, boy.
Yeah.
It's the All Love, No Fear podcast. It's the All Love, No Fear podcast. Check us out. It's the All Love, Oh, No Fear podcast. All Love, Oh, No Fear podcast.
Hey. What up? We are the All Love No Fear podcast. Ha.
Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, good day.
We are the All Love No Fear podcast. Ha. What up?
Just here, living my best life, trying to, perpetually tired. I feel like that's just my current state of life. That's my status. Remember when Facebook first started and your statuses, you could put them down as like an emotion? Yeah. Tired is the one that I would choose. I feel like that's my story. This is my story. This is my song.
La la la.
Tired forever, every day. But yeah, how you doing? Welcome to the All Love No Fear podcast. It's season 3, episode. Am I a liar? Season 4,
yep,
episode 12.
You were a liar.
You know what? Because I was looking at the thing in the date, and there's a 3 in the date, and that's what had me like jacked. With my bad, y'all. Welcome to season 4, episode 12 of the All Love No Fear podcast. It's me, KB, with my lovely co-host,
Mr. Mark Meta Poetic Bennett.
Yes. I was gonna say ho-host, but you're not a hoe, because that's rude.
I'm not a ho-host. That's not what I am.
It's not. I was like co-host. Yeah.
What is a ho-host?
I don't know. It's a host who's a hoe.
Or chocolate.
What's a chocolate?
Like a ho-host.
Oh, I forgot about those. I haven't seen those in a while.
Yes.
Just go searching for them. They're probably on Amazon.
I know.
Come on.
I've never liked them, so no.
I mean, come on. Let's try something new.
No, not something that's disgusting, dude.
Well, how do you know it's disgusting? What's disgusting about it is the real question.
The taste.
I don't think so. I think you're just saying that because you don't want me to have nice things.
No, they're nasty.
Are they though?
Yes.
Are they really? Oh yeah, I'm looking at them. I don't necessarily want this. Like, I feel like I can maybe eat one and then be like, okay, well, that's going to be enough.
I never want them. You can have all of them.
Yeah.
Those
I wouldn't spend money on this if I didn't have other people to eat this with, because I'm pretty sure I would eat one and be like, well, that's going to be enough.
Like all those like super American snacks that are all from, what company is that? Hostess. I like almost none of them. Like all those snacks. That like, they were like the Twinkies, the Ho-Hos, the Do-si-dos, all those things.
The Do-si-dos are the Girl Scouts. Don't besmirchify their names.
What is it called? There's a bunch of ones that are all, I don't like any of them.
Devil Dogs.
Don't like those.
Ring Dings.
Nope, Ring Dings. That's what I was talking about.
Okay.
Ring Dings. Like, I don't like any of those things.
They all give like very high levels of high fructose corn syrup. Like, it's very clear that this is not actual sugar that's being used. It is straight up high fructose corn syrup. That's what they're giving.
And these are the American snacks, and they're all trash to me.
Nah, they're garbage. I wouldn't eat any of this. I wouldn't let Avery eat any of these.
I didn't like any of them when I was a child. So it's not like me, adult. I didn't like them back then.
I mean, I could potentially eat a Twinkie if I'm in the right mood.
No,
but
Twinkies, no. None of everything that was like this random chocolate or just cream inside. I didn't like any of those things.
So the whole thing you're just not into.
No, I don't like a lot of things with cream inside.
You don't.
Let's just go with that.
You don't. You don't.
Cream inside is just a lot.
Because you don't really like what is those donuts? The Boston creams.
Yeah.
You don't really like those.
Cream inside doesn't work with me.
Yeah.
Jelly is mad to me.
You don't like a jelly donut either. Because I think I tried to get you a jelly donut once many years ago, and you were like,
because I think you got me doing. I was like, why would you choose jelly?
Because you like jelly, so I was like,
yes. on a sandwich with peanut butter.
Right. So I was like, donut, jelly, what's not to love? And apparently the whole thing.
It's not the same thing.
So I learned. I realized you do not like that. And so now when I get donuts, I do better. I don't buy that for you. Yeah. But at the time, I remember thinking, oh, he likes jelly because you eat a lot of peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. I was like, oh, he likes jelly. It's a donut with jelly in it. Slam dunk. No, it was not. It was the opposite of that. It was the opposite. But, I learned.
My jelly intake is specifically with peanut butter and bread.
Yeah. I thought it was a crossover type thing, but it is not.
It comes with peanut butter and bread.
Yeah.
Or peanut butter and crackers. I'll do a peanut butter and jelly cracker.
Okay. You'll jazz it up a little. Give us a little cracker. Okay. All right.
One time I'll do a jelly and butter on a bagel, but it's still bread involved.
Right. Well, I mean, else. A donut is technically bread.
No, we're not doing that.
Would you feel differently about it if there was peanut butter in the donut? If it was a peanut butter and jelly donut?
No, because it's a sugary pastry around it.
But it's technically a bread.
Yes, not a sugary pastry.
But I'm saying the sugary pastry is technically a bread.
Yes, but I don't want the sugary pastry around my jelly. The sugary pastry, and then you're gonna give me jelly?
Yeah,
that sounds like a lot.
Like, what was those little mini cupcakes you got me for my birthday? Those were delicious. The Baked by Melissa, the little cupcakes that had like the peanut butter and jelly like frosting on top.
She has frosting on top.
Okay, whatever. I'm just saying that you had a peanut butter and jelly situation that wasn't necessarily bread and you liked it.
I said inside.
Okay, fine. That was on top. Okay, whatever.
And it was blended better than a jelly donut.
Okay. Jelly donuts have too much jelly in my opinion.
Like, I'll even eat an Uncrustable.
Yeah. Those are delicious.
No jelly donut.
Yeah, jelly donuts have too much jelly. Like, I don't mind a jelly donut. Like, it's just jelly. Too much jelly in there. It's just like the ratio of bread to jelly is just way too heavy.
You know the problem with the jelly donut is, like, I trick myself every time that it's gonna be okay when it comes down to the Munchkins. Because the Munchkins always got jelly. I'm always like, it's not gonna be that every time. I'm always like, nope, I don't want it.
Yeah, I don't even play with it. If it's not myself. The glazed Munchkin, thank you.
I trick because it looks like the glaze sometimes.
Yeah, that'd be the worst when you be thinking.
So I'm always like, it's not gonna be. Nope, don't want it. Nope, nope. Every time I'm upset. I've eaten it.
Yeah, I think at this point you should just stay away from Munchkins. Like, it's not safe. Munchkins aren't safe. It's not safe because you're gonna end up taking something you absolutely do not want.
That's why I just do the old-fashioned Munchkins. They're safe.
They are safe. Nothing else can be trusted.
Old-fashioned Munchkins is the way to go.
Yeah, nothing else can be trusted. Everything else is suspect.
Yeah.
Well, all right, y'all. Let's get into our love it or lose it. Hey, 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 hey, Hey. So yeah. Welcome to Love It or Lose It. This is our opening segment of the podcast where we spring surprises on one another and force one another to make really hard decisions in a very short amount of time that oftentimes are controversial. So, how it goes, usually one of the two of us has the options in our possession and the other one does not know until we, like I said, spring it on them at the recording. So, this week's Love It or Lose It will encompass Chinese food favorites. And what inspired this was we ate Chinese food for the last 2 days and I was thinking about it and I said to myself, let's make some hard choices in the Chinese food department. So here we go. Our 4 Chinese food favorites are...
It's good you made this one too, because if I made a one, like I don't...
The stuff you would put on here.
Yeah, I have a lot. My Chinese food palette is larger than yours.
Yes. I'm giving basic teas here. Just let's not...
It's a lot larger than yours.
Yes. I'm giving basic teas that I feel like basically everyone has eaten at least once. So first up, the French fry and chicken wing combo with the hot sauce. Every hood Negro's Chinese food dream. It was mine for quite a bit. I used to get the French fries and chicken wings with the hot sauce, the red hot sauce.
I knew I was bougie back then, because even back then I would have chicken wings with the fried rice.
Yeah, nah. I was busting down the French fries.
I know it's all bougie, but I was like, oh, so everybody does the French fries? Yeah, I'm the odd one with my fried rice.
Yeah, you uppity. I got them French fries. I used to go to the place across the street from my high school and get them. Then when I moved to college, I found another Chinese place.
Fries. I feel like I was uppity one because I got the fried rice every time.
Shouts to New King Yi. In Uniondale.
Shouts to.
Yeah, that was my spot. They used to let me get my chicken wings and French fries when I was in college. Shouts to them. They still open. So shouts to them. Gang. What street is that they on? Is that Uniondale Avenue? The street that they're on?
French Street.
No. It's like down. It's just on the same street as the library.
Oh, so it's. I thought you went to the one around the corner.
No.
Okay, so you go to a different one. I thought you did. Okay. All right.
Yeah. It's like down the street, down the street from the library, like near that place.
That's Uniondale Avenue.
Yeah. Shouts out to them on Uniondale Avenue. New King E. It's popping. The second option, the tried and true Negro special, chicken and broccoli. Even named some Timberlands after it. That's how iconic it is, the chicken and broccoli.
I thought it was beef and broccoli.
You're right. It's beef and broccoli, not chicken and broccoli. It's beef and broccoli.
There are no chicken and broccoli dims.
No, it's beef and broccoli. You're right. General Tso's. General Tso's.
General Tso's.
Oh, I don't know how to say it. The people know what I say when I go in there and I ask for it. They know what I mean.
Yes, because they're like Americans.
Okay, is they gonna make it or not? And the quintessential pork fried rice. So your 4 options: chicken wings and French fries, chicken and broccoli, General Tso's or whatever you just said.
What?
And pork fried rice.
I thought you choose lo mein instead of one of those.
No. Everybody's not into lo mein. People are into fried rice.
Okay, so fried rice.
And you know what? I'll say any fried rice, not just pork, because I don't want people to eliminate it straight off the fact that it's pork. It can be any of the fried rices.
So fried rice, General Tso's, chicken and broccoli, chicken wings, and French fries.
Yeah. What's gonna be or lose it today? What's gonna be or lose it? What's gonna be lose it?
Maybe General Tso's, honestly.
Go on.
Because like people, I think people like General Tso's 80% of the reason is because of the name of it.
That's fine.
I feel like 80% of it is because of the name of the food. Because I feel like it's just chicken. It's not. It's just chicken. Like what? The flavor is okay. Like it's not. I'm not saying it's bad, but like the chicken, the chicken is always very small.
Mm-hmm.
It's in small pieces, and it gets eaten up very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And it's mad expensive. So it's like. It's
when you feeling uppity. It's when you got paid and you want to spend a little money. You want to upgrade your life. Like, you know what? I'm not going to get that pork fried rice, but you know what I am going to get? I'm going to get that General Tso's, though.
I would rather have the sesame chicken before I get the General Tso's, honestly, because sesame chicken is actually bigger bites.
Okay. I think they're all the same, but I also don't. I do. Like, I feel like they're all the same.
Racist when you say that.
What?
Somehow it sounds that way. I know it's not, but somehow it sounds racist.
Okay. I don't think that's where I was going at all. I just
they don't look the same at all. Not even a little bit.
I guess. Sure. Likely story, friend. Likely story. So it's a General Tso's for you. I just looked up how to pronounce this General Tso.
So okay.
Yes, General Tso. You don't say the T. The T is silent.
Okay.
Like the G in lasagna.
It was like no. And the W in sword.
We're gonna take a quick pause. One of the things that grinds my gears more than anything else in this world is people who say sword. So as a public service announcement, it is pronounced sword. The W is silent. I don't know who taught you to say it with the W in there, but don't. Okay.
Like I said, I know why people do it because I've done it. I've done it previously, but it's because like
cannot butter.
Sometimes when in your mind when you're trying to like make sure you sound intelligent, you tend to overpronounce things, and in your mind you're looking at a word. Even words you've said many times, you're looking at the word of how it's spelled and like, all right, how can I make sure I say this correctly? And then you just...
And then somehow don't?
Correct. And as I'm saying, like a lot, sometimes when like it's like you ever like imagine the word how it's spelled out tongue and say it. You say it weirdly. You start saying tongue. Like you start adding extra
tongue.
You start adding because like when you're looking at when you're like visualizing the word at the same time, sometimes
like you put 20 on 10. You add too much.
You put a little extra on it, and I think that's kind of what happens with sword.
How did you say it?
Sword. I'm saying that's why they say it because of.
We can break up over this. This is a totally break-upable event. I am not living with someone who says sword. I can't. Like something about it makes me like it makes my ears. It's like nails on a chalkboard for me whenever I hear someone say sword. And I'll be like, and when they say it repeatedly, I'll be like, oh, they really think this is how this word is pronounced.
Yeah,
which alarms me heavily.
Yeah, but I think that's kind of where that comes from.
But y'all don't do it. Don't do it. And I don't mean to offend any of you who do say sword. Like that might just be the way that you learn and nobody ever taught you or corrected you. But I'm here to tell you that it's not the right way. Thanks, your local English major. Yes. So your love it is the general so's. Your lose it. I'm sorry, is the general so's. I think my lose it is going to be the chicken and broccoli.
Ooh.
It's all right. Like I'll eat it, but like I'm never busting down the door to get a chicken and broccoli.
I'm always busting down.
You are I know that's what you want. Every time we ask for Chinese, every time we talk about Chinese food, that's what you want all the time, and you have a special way you like it made. So honestly, I completely understand.
This is all result of FedEx office in Hicksville. Shout out to the boy Rich. He told me how you can modify Chinese food, and he changed my whole life. He changed my whole life.
Yeah, I didn't know that you could do all of that till I met you.
When he told me when he used to order food, I was like, you can modify these dishes. He changed my entire life for Chinese food.
My whole life has changed. I was like,
so
because of Rich
usually
from FedEx Hicksville.
Because
why do I get the eye? What did I do?
Because he would order chicken and broccoli with white sauce, spicy, with $2 beef, brown rice, and was added to hot oil. I was like, what is all of that? Tell me more.
Yeah, I didn't know anything about that till I met you. I was like, I just go in there and tell the people what it says on the paper, and then they give it to me.
Chicken and broccoli, get the brown sauce. You can ask for white sauce, and I realized they have white sauce at all the locations. Every location I've ever been to and asked for white sauce, they have it. So they just be having it on the menu.
You just got to know to ask for it.
No one knows to have it. You can make almost anything spicy. Hot oil is what they use for the spice, so you can ask for additional hot oil to add to it if you would like. There's mad things I didn't know about.
Word.
You can add beef to it if you want, and you would say $1 beef or $2 beef. Of course, $2 beef is more beef.
Obviously, because you're paying more money.
You could say $2 shrimp.
Mm-hmm.
I think I got chicken and shrimp usually. I got chicken and broccoli with $2 shrimp.
Mm-hmm.
And it will add extra meat. Like I didn't know these things. I was very excited.
Yes.
When I heard all these things.
And thanks to Rich, Mark is still ordering his Chinese food this way to this day.
I was so excited.
I'm still very base model. I'm just like, just the lo mein as it is. I don't need any extra things.
You like mugugai pan?
I do like mugugai pan.
It's just chicken and mushroom. That's what it means.
Yes.
That's all it means.
And it's delicious.
Yeah. I think I got that with white sauce.
Yeah, you've jazzed that up. I'm just like, I'll just eat it.
But what you do?
But I like it jazzed though.
Yeah, what you do now is you do spicy because
it changed my life. Once I figured out that they could put the spicy hot oil in things, I was like, yo,
give me that spice.
Yo,
yeah,
it'll change your life. It'll elevate your whole experience. I promise you.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Elevate.
Yeah,
but yeah, the chicken and broccoli is gonna have to go. Like I'm just because I don't like Chinese food like regular rice. So like I'm not eating that white rice. It's just no. I choose brown rice. I don't even like their brown rice. I don't like Chinese food non-fried rice.
I don't do the white rice.
Yeah, so chicken and broccoli is a dub. It just doesn't do anything for me like as a person. Like I'm just like
The brown rice by itself I understand. The white rice by itself I understand. I like it because it's soaked inside the sauce with everything else.
Yes.
I usually mix it up and everything, and it's good mix. Like I don't want the fried rice mixed with everything because it takes away everything from the
essence of the fried rice.
Yeah, but like I like the brown rice and then mixed in with the sauce and like as it let it sit. Fantastic.
Yeah, like I lose chicken and broccoli because I don't look at chicken and broccoli with any type of food lust. Like when I see a lo mein or a pork fried rice or a chicken wing, like I'm like, oh, I want some of that. Chicken and broccoli, I'm like, all right. I mean, I guess if someone has it, I could eat it, but yeah.
The only thing I would give you credit with is that not all chicken and broccoli is made equal.
Yeah, I've had some like shady. Like the place we get from now, I like their chicken and broccoli, but I've definitely had some.
And Sakana was good too.
Yes, and Sakana. But I've definitely had some.
Yeah, I've had some chicken and broccoli where the broccoli was humongous. I was like, this is fantastic. It was like gigantic broccoli, and I was like, this is what I'm looking for.
Yeah, and I've had some chicken and broccoli where I felt like they gave me more broccoli than chicken, and I was like, but I paid chicken prices. If I wanted like sauteed broccoli, I would have just got that. That's not what I.
You give it the $2 beef and the $2 chicken.
I don't want the $2 beef. I want the chicken and the broccoli that I asked for. So yeah, chicken and broccoli is my lose it. What's your love it?
Obviously chicken and broccoli. Obviously chicken and broccoli. I like it a lot more than the other ones. Like I said, with the brown rice specifically. Chicken wings and French fries. It's okay sometimes. I have to be in the mood for it. I don't want it every time. Chinese food chicken wings are good.
Delightful because they fry chicken wings hard, which I like.
But I don't. It have to be. I don't want it every time. Same thing. I don't want fried rice every time. And fried rice is not made equal either.
It's a fact because I've eaten some fried rice where I've just been like, it smells like it's supposed to taste like something, but I taste nothing.
Yeah.
And I keep eating it because I keep hoping something will happen, and nothing does.
Yeah.
Much like that Jamaican pickle oxtail. Kept eating it, hoping for something to happen, and nothing did. It's very. I thought I had COVID, bro. I was like, I can't taste anything.
Yeah.
What's happening?
I apologize for the bad review, but Jamaican pickle, you need to pull it together. Jamaican pickle in Uniondale. It's Uniondale, right?
Yes, Uniondale. Y'all can do a lot of things, but the oxtail might not be it.
No, you can't do a lot of things.
I was trying to be nice, smart.
Like the oxtail, it wasn't it was nasty. It just didn't taste like Jamaican food.
It didn't taste like anything. It
was American oxtail. It was like regular salt pepper oxtail. You know what I'm saying?
It didn't give what it was supposed to have gave.
It didn't give like any form of kick. Like, oh, this is Jamaican oxtail. It was just like, we have the oxtail ingredient. We have the meat that is oxtail, but we're going to season it like Americans. And I think, like I said, I'm not sure if they've always made food that way, or because of the people who go there, they made food that way.
Yeah, it didn't give what it was supposed to give.
Focus.
It didn't. I'm listening to you. It didn't give what it was supposed to give.
Because that what's it called location is like a lot of like Long Island, like middle-aged white people go there.
Mm-hmm. So they might not know no better.
So in their mind, this is fantastic. Like they've been in business for a long time, so they're still open. So
they've been. You know, I respect that. Support black business. Like they got good beef patties over there.
Stop. Okay, that's where it stops. But
support black business. Support black business. I appreciate that they're still open after 10-ish years. I appreciate that.
They know their clientele.
Right.
They know their client. They know that my clientele don't need all that spice.
But you know why it's like that though? It's because the guy is nice.
Yeah.
You got to go to the places where they mad rude. Like Tropical Jerk, they're not nice, but that food, bussin'.
But the middle-aged white people are not gonna go where the people are rude.
Right.
Sometimes they know their audience.
Yeah, you're right. You're correct. It's, the math is mathing. It's adding up.
They're not gonna go with so they got to go with their audience.
Right.
So
legit.
In terms of, it's not for me.
No, it's not.
Jamaican pickle is not for me. Right. I myself will never go there again.
Nah. Like I would go get a beef patty if I was in the neighborhood, but like
I will never go there.
How do beef patties is all right? Come on. Don't be like that.
I would not go there.
You won't? Okay, that's fine. My love it.
If I want a beef patty, I'll just get a frozen Tower Isles.
Not the frozen tower aisles, Mark. You won't even let them make you a fresh patty, my guy? That's crazy.
I think their patties are tower aisles. But no, okay. What did you love it, Kristen? What did you love it?
I need a moment to collect myself. You said they sell the power aisle patties in there?
They might.
You're rude.
No.
You told me to relax when I was trying to list the dishes. Now you just rude.
No.
Rude. Yes. This is Mark being rude. People be acting like you so innocent and so sweet.
You're innocent and nice.
You're a liar. Liar. You're a liar who lies. Yes.
What is next?
Yes. I think my love it is going to be the general so's of these options here. I don't get it often, but I like sweet and spicy kind of sauces, and I think that's why it would be my favorite out of the options.
Okay.
Yeah, because I like deep fried chicken. Of course I do. Who doesn't like deep fried chicken? What's wrong with you? And then when I mean, unless you got health reasons why you shouldn't be eating that, then you got it. But like I like deep fried chicken, and I like I said, I like sweet and spicy kind of sauces. And so I like that after it's deep fried deliciousness, it gets tossed in the sauce, and I like to mix my rice or whatever in the sauce too. It's just a delicious time. So yes, I would say the General Tso's is probably my love it. All right. I know we went off on a tangent and talked about a whole bunch of other things here, but thank you so much for listening to us, bearing with us in our tangential ways. If you have any love it or lose it commentary, feedback, suggestions, whatever the case is, hit us up on the social medias. All Love No Fear PCast on Instagram, All Love No Fear P1 on Twitter. And you can also email us all love no fear pcast at gmail.com.
I feel like I don't do anything but Twitter.
I barely be on there, to be honest with you.
If you go to our Twitter, you might see a very old post. We're going to do better.
Right. Yes. Because Twitter is where it's at. I mostly go on Twitter for the tea.
Yes.
I follow the hashtags to get tea.
We do a lot of watching on Twitter.
Yes.
Actually posting on Twitter.
Yes. Do a lot of tweet watching. That's what we do.
So we're gonna do better with that also.
Word to big word. You ain't lying. All right.
Once again, hit us up on the Patreon. On the Twitter.
Oh my goodness.
On the Instagram.
That's fine. The way I'm on it right now.
On the Facebook, yeah.
That's fine.
Facebook, yeah.
Are you done? Are you? I just want to make sure.
Yeah.
I don't trust you, but
did you do the closing ready for Love It?
Oh, we did not. Well,
that was Love It
or Lose It. Hey, love it or lose it. Hey, love it or lose it. Hey, love it or lose it. Hey. Hey.
Doobit, 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 doo. Ha, ha, ha.
I thought we were going to go with this Shooby-Doo one more time.
Doobit, 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 doo. Ha, 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 ha. Doobit, doo. Doobit. Okay. You go, please.
I'm not mature, and so that's what we have to understand here. So this week we wanted to kind of touch on this topic of back to work or not. And so part of what inspired this was two things. So one, Forbes recently released a study or an article about a study that they did about a week or two ago, I think. Maybe last week is when I saw it, where they reported that a number of work from home employees were, at home, doing laundry, doing shopping, having the sex, taking naps, on dating apps, doing side hustles during company time, etc., etc. In addition to, drinking, smoking the weeds, playing video games, watching the porns.
The weed.
Mm-hmm. The weed, the reefer, and watching the porn, which we know is true because where I work, a faculty member was teaching their class, and when they opened up to share their screen, there was a Pornhub tab open. It's a little awkward. You can't be watching the porn on the computer you work from, bro. You got to make sure you close all that out. It's not acceptable. Like, now you look mad. You look mad wild as a professional.
What you can't do is get caught.
Huh?
What you can't do is get caught.
Right. Like, you can do whatever you want. All I'm saying.
What you can't do is get caught.
Right. Because the students were like, my guy got the porn site up. I'm like, bro, just close out the tab. Don't do that. But anyway, so the Forbes people said that, a lot of us is doing non-work things on company time. And then the second thing that kind of inspired this topic was the fact that there have been a lot of reports that people are choosing to quit their job rather than return to work now that a lot of companies are reopening for in-person business, given the fact that it's been how many months? 15, 16 months. We have vaccinations in place. There are vaccination mandates, et cetera, et cetera. It's seeming like, God willing, things are starting to go back to kind of what they were pre-COVID in terms of like operational capacity for companies. And so, companies have gone as far as even offering people raises or promotions to come back into work, and they're still choosing to quit because they feel like, A, I'm more productive when I'm at home, and B, I just don't want to get in the car or get on a train or do whatever it is to physically commute to this office. So I wanted to talk about that a little bit. So I guess for me, my company is opening back up in the first week of August, and they're still trying to figure out like what our working schedule is going to look like. Like, are we coming in 2 days a week and working home the other 3, or we doing 3 in person and working 2 at home? What's the office going to look like? Are we alternating spaces? Like, what are we doing? So we're trying to figure that piece out. And the feeling around my office is kind of varied. Like, I think the majority of people are okay with coming into work physically part of the week. There are some people who aren't interested in it whatsoever. Like, they just want to stay at home. It's more comfortable for them. And, they also have concerns about, being out in the world again, being around people, possibly contracting COVID or spreading it to people that live in their house, et cetera, et cetera. I think for me, I wouldn't quit my job as a result of them wanting me to physically go into the office. Like, for me, I kind of want to go into the office physically simply so I can separate work from home in some way again, because I feel like for the last 15, 16 months, it has not been. Like, work has been home. Like, my workspace is literally to the right of me at this moment. And I kind of don't want that anymore. I kind of want my computer to go back to its office, and I want work to stay over there. And then when I come home, I can sit on this couch and have fun and not have to think about work things. But I know there are also people where I work. There are a few people who I wouldn't be surprised if they put in resignation, because they're like, I don't want to come back. I don't physically see the point in coming back. I don't want to be around people. I like having my own schedule. I like being able to do whatever I have to do. Because, like, I know, I've told people multiple times, I'm like, you're at home. I have no idea what you're doing between the hours of 9 and 5 or whatever your designated work hours are. So if you're having the sex, watching the porn, smoking the weeds, drinking, doing your laundry, washing your dishes, I have no idea. And quite frankly, don't care. My only concern is that the work that you have to get done gets done. So whatever it is you're doing, in between that time is 100% your business. Like, it's just your personal and professional responsibility to get your work done. And I feel like there's a feeling among some of the, CEOs of some of these companies or whatever the case is, that people being at home has decreased productivity. And I don't think that's true. I feel like a lot of people just feel like if they can't see you, then they can't verify that you're working. And it's like, but has work not been done? Have things not been accomplished? Like, what's the rationale for this belief that people aren't working? So yeah, that's kind of where I am on the whole thing. What are your thoughts, Mr. Bennett?
Yeah, I think that I think businesses are trying to. They, like a lot of businesses have this belief that their workers aren't working the way that as much as they could be. Mm-hmm. Right. A lot of times the purpose of a lot of businesses is to get the most out of a person per hour, because there are a lot of guys getting charged per hour. Right. So they try and get the most out of a person. So like, if they feel as if for an hour the person might not be doing actual work, they feel like that person is stealing company time. Mm-hmm. Right, because that's how we've operated for years. We've operated, meaning every hour that you're working is the time that we will get money from, and if you're not working, then you're off the clock. Mm-hmm. Right, that's how it's operating. The thing that they're not accounting for is the fact that, like, when you're working from home, now you're more of a results-based thing. You have to modify how you move things. Mm-hmm. So basically, I think that is the concern, is like people are not moving to like how they run their business. So meaning, if a person gets this project done, this project takes. We usually because like usually you give a team member a certain job to do for the day or for a certain amount of time, right? So let's say in your mind this takes 3 days to complete the project. If in those 3 days the job is complete, they've completed the 3 day project. It doesn't matter what they've done between that time, because they've completed the 3 day project. And I think that is they have to operate that way. It's just hard for them to change over to how they've always operated before. Yeah, because the reality is people are actually more productive now than they were before. But
they get more work out of me in a day than I ever gave them in a week while in person.
Because it's a results thing. Of course, some people it's not, but then you have to address those differently. But you're getting a lot more work from people now because you have, if you operate in this results-based thing. Because now you can kind of gauge, all right, this person, I might have assumed that this job takes 3 days. They turn it in within a day and a half. I like a lot of times they're not going to tell the team member how long it takes, but in your mind it takes a day and a half. Takes 3 days. They turn it to a day and a half. Now you can give them a different project for the next time, and now you're balancing out your time. Right. You just have to like start reorganizing how you do it. Like a lot of companies they're not reorganizing their thoughts on like we work from home now. Yeah. And I also understand of why people want to go back home, because like some businesses they were able to like, all right, get out of the lease and they kind of work out, but some places they have a lease, they had like a 3-4 year lease on a location. Yeah. So like I have this location, people should be in there. Right. Yeah. So like now I'm just paying for a location that no one's using.
Yeah, and I think that's the case with my job, is like this. Yeah. We are paying for a space that no one is using.
Correct. Yeah. So like I think that's kind of what's kind of happening with that. Yeah. And it's like, of course people would say put somebody else there, but that's still paying somebody else to be there. Yeah. So like I think that's kind of that. And like when students come to a location, seeing empty desks doesn't look well. Yeah. Yeah. But people go to a business, like people who fund it and everything like that, not seeing people in the building might not look well. Right. So like I understand where it comes from, but we just have to. Right. I think corporate America haven't really modified well. Right. On like they haven't really changed the way they do things. Right. They're kind of like everything was kind of a hold off until this pandemic's over and then go back to the way it was.
Right.
And actually, they were only thought about in terms of profit for them.
Right.
So
not
meaning like
to focus on the employees.
Correct. So like their profit for them is kind of like, okay, so now when you're at home, you can still work.
Right.
So now once again, snow days are gone.
Right.
That's a dub. No matter how bad the weather is outside, you're probably still working because you can just work from home now.
Yeah.
So like at schools, everything. So everybody understand snow days are dub. Weather holiday is dub. Hurricanes might be doubles. I don't know what.
Not hurricane. I'm not going outside. Nobody hurricane. Y'all don't pay me enough for that.
No, correct. That's why you can work from home.
But if the electricity if the hurricane knocked my electricity out, it's a dub.
That's the case. But the point I'm making is I think that
they're going to be less understanding
of people not getting things done.
Right. But I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
One of the, what you said about, people, taking a 3-day project and doing it in half the time. I think what companies fail to realize is part of the reason that happened is because people were more focused on their work and they weren't as easily interrupted by colleagues asking them questions, by meetings, by, office functions. Like when you have 3 or 4 hours of time uninterrupted, you can really get a lot done. But think about what an 8-hour workday looked like for us. Well, 7 if you take out lunch. You might come in 9 o'clock. You have a 10 o'clock meeting that runs till 11:30. You come back to your office. You may have to answer some phone calls, answer some emails. Next thing you know, it's 1 o'clock. You got to take your lunch. You take your lunch. You come back at 2. You may have a meeting from 2:30 to 4:30, and that's your day.
Yeah.
That's the whole freaking day.
And you could still have those meetings now, but now because you're on the computer, you can have working meetings.
Yes, you can have work. You can still be in the meeting and multitasking and responding to your emails or working on your projects or whatever the case is. Correct. But when you're in person, you can't do that.
You're sitting down.
You're sitting down in a room. You can't just bring your laptop into a meeting and just be tap, tap, tap and working on whatever while you're not.
Because it looks like you're not paying attention.
Exactly. So people got to realize not having those frequent daily interruptions is what is causing people to produce as much work as they're producing while working from home. And the second part of it is, and I saw this, someone wrote an article about this and that I read recently. For people of color specifically, they're producing more work at home because they're relaxed. They're not worrying about, well, what does my white coworker or my white boss think about this or this tone that I said this in. They're not doing all the internal policing that Black people often do in corporate America, where they're thinking about their hair or their nails or the way they spoke or dealing with some other type of microaggression in the workplace. That's not an experience that I've had, thankfully, but a number of people of color do have microaggressive work environments where they deal with it all the time. And they've had over a year of not having to deal with the microaggression directly in their face on a day-to-day. And so they're like, I don't want to go back to work because I finally gotten over dealing with what was happening when I was physically there. I've become a better worker as a result of being home. And so I don't want to go back. And so companies also need to think about, as they see people who are quitting their jobs rather than returning to work, you got to figure out what's happening in the culture at your job that you're losing productive employees simply because you want to reopen the office. It's I hope they're doing exit interviews with these people and these people are being honest about what is driving them to not return, because part of it is people have been working in toxic work environments and they're now nah, I don't have to do that no more. I don't want to. I've proven that I can work from home. And, I think a lot of companies have also now seen the value of work from home positions. And so a lot of them are now offering remote positions, because offering a remote position is actually a savings to a job. They don't have to pay for office space for you. They don't have to pay for, certain equipment. They might pay for your computer or might pay for your your internet, or give you some type of stipend for that. But they don't have to worry about a physical office space, worry about getting you access to stuff, to buildings and to this and that. It actually is a cost savings for them to have people working remotely. So, I think companies have to be mindful of like what actually makes sense for you and for your industry and for your business going forward. Like having people back in the office just to say you have people back in the office shouldn't be like the end game. Like really critically evaluate if it really makes sense to have people back in the office, or if you need to have the full team back in the office. Because I mean, to me, there are some things where some people could stay remote. Honestly, like there's no, like where I work, like it's kind of hard to do because it's such a front facing service. Mm-hmm. But, you know, I still think a large chunk of it could be done at home and has been getting done at home for the last couple of months. So, you know, I understand the concerns that people have about like going in, because in addition to living in New York City where no one's driving to work, like everyone's taking public transportation, you're dealing with that, and then dealing with, you know, intermixing with not just your colleagues who will be in the office with you periodically, but people coming in, the public coming in essentially, and you don't know what's going on with that, even though, you know, Governor Cuomo has said that vaccines are required for students attending city and state institutions. You know, how is that really being enforced? And, you know, there's still some folks who are like, I don't really care if I'm vaccinated and the other person's vaccinated. I'm just not 100% comfortable having people like in my physical space. So it's this delicate dance that you have to do to try to make it work for everybody. But I think, you know, companies need to stop and take a moment. Like, I understand you want to have things, you want to quote unquote go back to normal, but like, you got to take a moment and stop and think, like, is this really the best thing or the best situation or the best option to go about, you know, reopening our business fully?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, I'm like, is the work getting done? Are you getting the results that you are hoping for or you're expecting? If that's the case, then, you know, be flexible and give people the option or the choice to, you know, work from home. But it's like some of these companies are trying to like push people back in the office immediately. It's
an immediate change of culture. Like if you've been a business for a long time, this 1 year of changing your whole culture, a lot of businesses just haven't done it.
Yeah.
Like luckily your job doesn't do that, but like I know companies where like you do actually have to clock in online.
Yeah, I'm like,
and they monitor what you're doing on your computer while you're at home.
Yeah.
So like you have to be in front of that computer the whole time, and they kind of like are in every meeting, make sure your camera's on, and like it's like I know companies that are like that. So like they've been really anal the whole time in the process.
And it speaks to the fact that you don't trust your employees. You don't think your employees are working.
Yeah, but a lot of managers like there's a reason why a lot of companies never work from home for the first place, because they had a lack of trust in the first place. Yeah, like a lot of things, of course, you can do at home with what you have. Unless, of course, you're meeting with people in the actual store or meeting. Like I understand that, but a lot of like offices, if you have the programs at home, you can do it at home. Mm-hmm. You can do the things at home. So, but like a lot of people are worried about confidentiality. Mm-hmm. A lot of people are worried about things like that, and like it had to be done now. So like no matter what, but like confidentiality is like the big thing.
Yeah, that was the big issue for us. Like I remember them being like sending out a whole thing about like how we had to like use our computer because we have access to like, you know, sensitive personal information for people.
So it's like the computer being in the house means like other people in the family can have access to the computer.
Right. Yeah.
While you're having a meeting, other people can see what's happening. Right. While you're talking to other students, other people can see what's happening. So confidentiality is just a big thing.
Yeah. Which I understand. Yeah.
So it's just little things that like people just have to find ways to get around, and I think that it's just like I said, it's changing the culture. Like I'm not sure how many instances of confidentiality breaks have happened, and like that's not something that they talk about. But it's possible it went up, possible it didn't.
Yeah. So I guess if you were, like, you're currently self-employed, but if you were working for an organization and you had been at home this whole time and they told you they needed you to come, or like you had to come back, like, what do you think your response would be?
I think what was before, it depends on the industry. It depends on, because like, for instance,
let's use your most recent job as an example.
Like as a marketing person, of course, I can do that from home. I'm not worried about that. As a teacher, it's a little different based off of the population I was serving.
Right.
A lot of them might not have computers.
Right.
So like they don't have computers, what, they can't do my class?
Yeah.
They need a job.
Right.
they don't have them. That a lot of them might not have the capital.
Right.
To have a computer or to do the online course.
Or to have internet access in the house, etc.
Like the best thing they can do is come into class.
Right.
I would probably modify my lesson to make sure it's online also. I might even do that.
Right.
But like I understand that. This is just like you have to modify how you do things.
Right.
Because it has to now appeal to the big picture.
Yeah. 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 I think for where I work, like, I think it's going to be interesting because I work for a college, and while there are in-person classes being offered, a lot of the students they're very wary of taking in-person classes, even more so now that there is a vaccine mandate, because a lot of the students don't want to take the vaccine because, you know, they're you know, the Gen Zs are very suspicious of everything. And so they're like, you know, they're listening to a lot of the nonsense. And, you know, when you were 19, 20, you listened to a lot of nonsense too. So I can't really blame them very much. So it's like, we don't know how many of them are actually going to like come through our doors. So then it's like, is it worth opening back in person when there may not be that many of them that come through the doors in the first place? So it's just kind of like it's a gamble in our situation. And so I do understand, you know, other people in my office is concerned about like, if it's not going to be that many people, why can't I just stay home and do what I've been doing? But for me, I'm like I said, I want to get out of the house. I want to get like the work segment of my life out of my house, because I feel like for a long time, I didn't really have a balance with working. Like I would be working all day, all night. Like I just wouldn't stop. And it took me a couple months to be like, okay, I'm going to stop working at this time, and I'm not going to go back to check an email or respond to anything or whatever. But like when we first came home, I was so overwhelmed. Like I felt like there was so much going on and I couldn't keep up. And, you know, I was managing 14 people. So it was just like keeping up with all their needs and their not demands. I don't want to say it like that, but like just stuff that they needed and stuff that they had going on with their own people. I was just like, oh my God. So it's like, I did not like that. I did not like that I was so, you know, dialed out of my regular life for a little while. I eventually figured it out, and, you know, I think I found a decent balance, but it's just like, I just want that element out of like my home space.
Yeah.
So I'm actually fine. I'm not interested in particularly going 5 days a week, because I have enjoyed not being, you know, dressed all the time. You know, I'll put on like something nice when important people are coming to the meetings on Zoom, but for the most part, I've been coming dressed like this, like in a t-shirt and some leggings. So I'm not looking forward to wearing real clothes again. But on the bright side, I don't have to buy any new clothes because I have a bunch. Because I had bought a bunch of clothes right before the pandemic hit. And so I've got like practically brand new clothes to wear to work. So I'm excited.
Like I said, the benefit of you going to the office is when at 5 o'clock you're done.
Yeah, at 5 o'clock, I'm checking out. I'll see you girls when I see you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's kind of what I'm looking forward to. And plus I miss the city. I kind of miss like, you know, just walking around and sightseeing and like going to sit in the park and stuff like that. So that's my thing. But I also understand that, you know, for a lot of people, it's a little bit more complicated because, you know, they have to figure out childcare. They have to figure out like, you know, I know people who are taking care of like an elderly family member. So it's like, well, how do I, like, if I'm at work, who's taking care of this person when I'm at work? Do I need to get a home health aide? Like, it's a whole production.
I think that my belief is that with stuff like that, I think companies should, in terms of restructuring, have better policies for people who don't have childcare.
Yeah.
Have better policies for people who don't, who have to take care of.
And for people who have disabilities, because a lot of these companies have been basically treating people with disabilities who've asked for accommodations like, well,
we can't
everybody else is doing, we can't accommodate you. And it's remember, yeah, you can.
I remember when the pandemic first hit, everybody with disabilities was like, oh, so now you can accommodate people. Mm-hmm. So like, I think that is that was a big thing of the pandemic, is like the company can be more accommodating to others.
Right. Agreed.
Who have things going on. I think that is something that I believe should be more policies about accommodating people who are not able to. Mm-hmm. Like not everybody's able to have childcare.
Yeah.
Or have it's just not able. And then like I think appealing to that is, I think, a better use of their experience during this pandemic.
Word. So, let us know if y'all going back to work or not, or if y'all already back at work, and like what's that like, because I have no idea what to expect. I don't know what it's going to be. So definitely, hit us up on the socials and our email and let us know what's happening on that front. All right.
Word.
All right, y'all. Thank you so much for listening. We appreciate y'all. We thank y'all so much. Oh my gosh. Now let us move on to our Artist Spotlight. So, and this week we are highlighting an artist that I discovered while playing some indie R&B on Tidal. Sometimes once the album is over, like they'll move to like a similar music kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Playlist. And this young lady that I discovered, I don't want to sound like Columbus. This young lady that I learned about, her name is Carolyn Malachi. She's a mix engineer, a producer, an artist, and an educator. She teaches at the Cathy Hughes School of Communications at Howard University, where her research explores the intersection of blockchain technology and data sonification. She also holds an MA in audio technology from American University. So she, as I said, is an artist. She's a professor. She's a Grammy-nominated artist. Excuse me. Let me get it right and refer to my sister's information appropriately. She was awarded the Fulbright Scholarship, which is, really big for academics. Very few people get them. And she's a cryptocurrency enthusiast. And she also has a podcast called Grits and Gary. So yeah, she's popping. She's put out some music over the years. The song that we're going to play today is called Beautiful Dreamer from her album. I believe it's called Gold, that came out in 2013. And she's put out some, some loosies, some singles over the years. But the song that came on the little India Ari sidebar playlist that I was listening to was called Beautiful Dreamer. So we're going to get into that right now.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Somewhere there's a nothing waiting to become something, fighting all the writing, hiding from the lightning. We are in the suburbs, racing to red lights, having close encounters far away from home. Beautiful
music. It's real soothing. I feel like I like her music for like quiet walks and like doing chores around the house and just bringing like a real cool zen vibe to things. So shouts out to her. That was our Artist Spotlight.
Making a bunch of things.
Huh?
I was making a bunch of things.
What were you making up?
I don't know. I was saying music spotlight, but it's like
that's not what it is at all, actually. So it's crazy that you would say that.
I was saying music. I was like, nope, it's not music.
Like not it at all. So let's get into this week in random. So where do I begin? I wrote down a few things. Let me pull my list together. So first up, did you see the story about the guy who got swallowed by a humpback whale in Massachusetts?
Yes.
I'm like, what in the Jonah?
And it spit back up.
What in the Jonah? Is people... How, Sway? Like, I read the whole story and his whole comment, and I'm still like, how? How did it happen to you, sir?
Well, humpback whales are humongous, so...
They are, and it swallowed him whole.
Yes, that is very possible.
I can't, like, and he said what he kind of did was, like, he wiggled around, and I guess that made the whale uncomfortable, and so it spit him back out. Mm-hmm. But I don't even know if I would have done that. I probably would have been in there like, I'm just going to die inside of a whale, and no one's ever going to find me. Like... I would I cannot imagine that happening. I would probably be so paralyzed. Like, how am I inside of a whale right now? Who knows I'm in here? I would probably be hyperventilating in there and just die, because I would never think, oh, let me wiggle around or let me try to get out. I would be like, well, I'm about to head into his digestive tract and it's over for me. Like, it would never even dawn on me to try to wiggle. So kudos to that man for thinking about trying to make the whale uncomfortable in the hopes that he would get out. Because I can't imagine. Like, that's horrifying. And he seemed like he was in good spirits. Like, he just seemed a little banged up, but nothing too crazy. But I was just like, yo. I thought this was one of them, like, fake stories at first. I was like, I don't believe this. And then I actually went and read it and saw the pictures and stuff. I was like, oh, my God. This is insane. It's insane. So I guess now, men can tell their wife a story about them being swallowed by a whale. And she'll have to believe it because it really did happen to someone. Because I don't know if you saw those memes or where people would be like, when Jonah went back home to tell his girl he got swallowed by a whale, and she was like, oh, you think I'm stupid, huh? I'm like, well, Jonah appeared to have been swallowed by a whale, and so did this gentleman.
Yes.
I wish him a speedy recovery, and I'm sure they will make a movie about this some years from now. But yeah, that was the wildest thing I've seen in a while. Like, what was happening? Like, how you end up, like, what was going on that you ended up inside of a whole humpback whale? Oh my God. Craziness. So the other crazy thing I read this week is coming out of the UK. And so essentially there was a story about a single father who has a 7-year-old daughter. And apparently there was a boy in the daughter's class who was bullying her. And he had spoken to the teacher about it, whatever the case is. And then the little girl had a birthday coming up. And she basically invited everybody in the class except the boy who was bullying her. Makes sense to me. I guess the one thing the father did wrong was have the invitations be handed out like on school grounds when the little boy was there, and basically saw that he wasn't invited to the party. But basically the mom of the little bully boy, approached the father and kind of blacked out on him. It was like, you're wrong for not inviting my son. He should still have been invited. Now he feels excluded, da 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 da. And the father went on Reddit and posted about it. And, most of the people were like, well, little bully will be all right. But there were some people who were like, oh, but you were excluding him and he doesn't understand the consequences of blah, 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 blah. And my feeling is this. I wish I would pay for my child's bully. Not on my watch and not with my goddamn money.
How old is this boy?
7.
I understand that y'all think that all kids are the same. Kids be understanding consequences.
They certainly do.
My 3-year-old understands consequences. I'm sure the 7-year-old does too.
Because all we have to say is, Avery, do you want to go to timeout? And she'll shape right up.
If my 3-year-old understands consequences,
she understands.
I'm pretty sure
the 7-year-old does. I wish somebody mama would press me about a function I'm paying for because their child that's harassing my child wasn't invited. I wish I would pay money for my child's bully to come to her party. Not with my money.
Yeah,
not on my watch. This is a celebration for my child. This is her birthday party. I'm not going to invite and spend money on the person who's causing her trauma at the school to come and shimmy up in my house or whatever function I'm paying for. Hell no.
Yeah,
it ain't never gonna happen.
I feel like a lot of people don't understand like about kids in general. Sometimes,
yeah.
Like I don't think they understand. Like I feel as if they're either baby them too much or not baby them enough. I feel as if they just they haven't figured out
right like how a 7-year-old is a child, yes, but they're also very clear about consequences and about doing something wrong. And so little man just gonna have to learn that you gotta leave people alone.
Yeah, they knew they were wrong with the bullying.
Yeah. What will that teach you? You won't get invited to the functions and play with the other kids if you keep bothering people.
You can't bother people and then still get benefits.
Yeah, like it's not how this works. Like I wish somebody would tell me a kid is bothering Avery at the school and then I'm bringing them to a fun. I'm pulling up on a kid and a mama. They're not coming to the party. If I find out little Johnny's bothering Avery, I'm pulling up at the school. Miss Tanya, little Johnny got a problem? Because I can beat both of y'all up. It's nothing. Sorry. But I mean that though.
It's not happening. Relax.
I know, but like just the thought of somebody bullying my child and I'm ready to go over there and be Chun-Li. Okay? Not playing with y'all. Gonna come press me about inviting to a party. Get on out of my face. Yeah. The dad was like, well, am I wrong? I'm like, no, you're not wrong, sir. No. Your daughter has the right to have peace at her birthday party, and that little bully don't need to be a part of it.
Yeah.
Point blank in the period. He be all right. Did he die?
He will be all right. He knows better now.
Exactly. He might get invited next year if he plays his cards right, but until then, it's a dub, sir. Move on with your life. The next thing I wanted to talk about was this video that Kev on Stage reposted and commented about. So he was talking about a tweet that someone posted, and I want to read the whole tweet and just make sure I'm not leaving anything out. I'm sure if y'all follow Kev on Stage, you probably saw it on the internet this week. But essentially what the tweet said was, let's be honest. No man wears a pair of underwear just one time before washing them. Every man wears each pair of underwear at least 3 to 10 times before washing them. Let's keep it a buck. And so Kev on Stage made a reaction video to this tweet. Excuse me? I beg your pardon? I beg your African American pardon? What? Men wear the same pair of drawers 3 to 10 times?
What I've gathered from this pandemic,
who said that?
Looking at the videos, a lot of people are disgusting.
Yo!
A lot of people, they don't shower every day.
Yo, you saw the video with the girl who said she only washed her hair and her face and she just let the soap run down her? I beg your pardon?
I was like, a lot of people don't shower every day.
And she only does that once every 6 days. So it's not like she does it every day. Once a week, basically. Yeah. She washes her hair and her face and lets the soap run down the rest of her body.
So like...
What?
So like, I realized there's a lot of things that I realized like, a lot of people are disgusting.
You Negroes are causing me a lot of anxiety and stress.
Because...
Y'all are the reason why the pandemic lasted for as long as it did, because y'all nasty.
Because for every 10 people who say it publicly, there's like 1,000 people who don't.
Which is alarming, okay? Which is where I find alarm.
So...
Jesus. Hey.
For every 10 people I've seen who publicly, 1,000 or more people are actually just keeping it quiet. So like, I don't have time.
So am I to conclude from this then that these people aren't showering? Because I can't see how you would get into the shower, wash your whole body off, and then put on underwear that you wore all day the day before that rubbed up on your private parts as you urinated, defecated. Like, I'm just not sure.
Underwear is where the line is drawn. Like, we understand jeans.
Right, I get it.
Jeans.
Shoot, maybe a shirt if you ain't really do too much and you ain't sweat a lot. I got you.
Underwear is where the line is drawn.
Like what? Like I'm just trying to understand. Like the amount of bathroom usage a person does in a day. The fact that you would assumedly go and wash your body every day, wash your private parts, and then put on yesterday's private parts residue on your now clean body. I can't understand. I'm so confused.
Y'all nasty.
And then an offshoot of that, I saw another video or another tweet about guys not wiping their butt because they think it's gay. And I'm like, cleaning yourself?
That's where it's gay.
It's gay? Like you released like stuff from inside of your body out of your butt and you don't feel like a thorough wipe is necessary? Wiping your butt or washing your butt in the shower is gay? I feel like we've talked about this on the podcast before, but gay is same-sex interactions. You cleaning your body, it's not gay. But I'm becoming more and more alarmed by the hygiene of people. I'm starting to realize that we all have not been taught the same, and it's upsetting to me.
And also that video was saying like woman climaxing is a male trait.
I was getting there. I was coming to that. That was my next thing. First of all, so I don't know if y'all saw this video, but again, if you haven't seen it, go check out Kev on Stage's Instagram. He does a reaction to it. So basically, it's a group of 4 men on a podcast. I don't know whose podcast it is. I don't know what they're talking about, but listen.
Climaxing is becoming a man because it's not normal for women to do that.
Right. I think it's a lie. I don't think they do that.
Oh, you don't think they do?
No.
You think they're pretending?
Yeah.
Really? That could be possible. You think when women act like they're doing that, they're lying?
I never thought about it, but you never know.
Yeah, because they'll be making a man think he's really doing an amazing job.
Yeah. I think it feels good, but the climaxing part, I'm not so sure about that.
Yeah, women don't let. I don't know if y'all doing that or not, but don't even try. Because if it was natural, you'd naturally do it. But the fact you're trying to make something happen, you're becoming a man. A man is turning you into a man. A fake man, but a man. First of all,
I don't.
If all of y'all are virgins, just say that. Just say that. Don't be in my face talking this nonsense. If all of y'all have never had sex before, just say that. If all of y'all are whack at sex, just say that. If it's not, you're trying to make something happen. How to say you're
bad at sex without saying you're bad at sex?
Just say that. Just say that you're bad at sex. Just say that. Like, you don't have to do all of this. You can just say, I'm not sexually experienced. I don't think I'm doing a good job at this. And that's cool. There are classes, there are YouTubes, there are tutorials, there are ways to assist you with that problem. However, for you to, first of all, what is climaxing, sir? What is that? The people want to know. The people is me. What is climaxing?
It's when you scaling the wall and you be like, hey, girl.
Wow, that's that. Okay, because I
scaling the wall.
I didn't know what climaxing was.
Hey,
I was
hey, you see, I'm bad at this. Hey, girl. That's my opening line. Hey, girl.
Yeah, that's
my opening line.
That's grand opening, grand closing. Because that's not it.
This is why I'm married. Because I can't do this anymore. I'm not good at being single. I'm not good at this. I'm not good at single.
Nah, because I'm like, ooh, that is.
Hey, girl, what's up?
Don't do that. Like,
I'm here for you. Look at you, pretty girl. Beautiful.
Now let's be honest, Mark. You were never like that. You were like, there's no way I would have ever entertained speaking to you if that was the way you behaved. Never.
I just know I haven't been single a long time. This is my first reaction.
I would hope not. This is why
I need to stay married, because I can't do this anymore. I don't know how this works.
I would be alarmed if you did that.
Hey, what's up, girl?
It would be embarrassing to me if you did that somewhere.
Don't you want to
please
date me?
Please.
And take me out sometime?
Can you stop?
Can I get you a drink?
Can you stop? Please don't. Please don't. If for some unfortunate reason, Mark. If for some unfortunate reason we go,
you look like a beautiful woman.
Stop. This is awful. This is embarrassing. If for some reason you and I go our separate ways, knock on wood, it'll never happen. Please do not embarrass me by doing that. I do not want people to think that I married you because you did that. Okay?
I'm just letting you know I'm going to be bad at this.
Don't do that. Again, there are YouTube. I will slap.
Look at my
Look at it. Cut it out. Cut it. Stop it.
Look at my fly style. I come talk to you, girl. My fly style. I'm here.
Mark, if you want to break up with me, just say that. Because I'm not doing that with you.
I'm here to kick some game to you.
So, Mark, what is it that you want? What is it that you would like to do? Because this right here
to kick some game
is very unattractive. I do not like it. I do not. No. This is.
I'm just letting you know I'm bad at this. I'm letting you know I'm not good at. I'm not good at being single.
It's awful.
I'm not good at this at all.
I'm not saying I'm good either, but that's awful. Okay, that's awful.
I'm not good at this.
Awful. awful. Don't do that. Okay, don't do that. You'll stay single if you keep doing that. Where's the thing to turn your mic off? Because you don't know how to stop. You don't know how to relax. Okay. I'm gonna sit over there next time so I can be close to the soundboard because you're acting up. But yeah, I it's making you a man if it was something that you could do naturally. Like, what do you mean, sir?
I was going to start thinking about it, but then I remembered that he's stupid. Who cares? I'm not going to analyze it at all. I feel like if it takes some time, I can analyze where he came from, but I'm not going to because he's just stupid.
I was just flabbergasted.
I refuse to think about how to analyze it.
Just if you
where he's coming from, I refuse to take time.
No, I'm not. I don't want
to take time in my brain to figure out how to analyze where he's coming from.
I didn't want to analyze where he was coming from. I just wanted to understand what.
No, there's space. I don't want to.
I want to hear. I want to hear like the 5 minutes before they jumped into this conversation because I'm like, how did you get here?
5 minutes. I don't need.
I'm like, how did you get here? What is this?
In my brain that I can use for something else.
What is this? Like, I'm confused.
I can use that to start knitting.
I just was like, well, what the hell is he talking about? Like, what? Huh? Like, what? The whole thing just was a big huh for me.
Use it for something else that I would never use ever in life.
I agree with you. Like, I don't want to go down a rabbit hole with it, but I literally was just like, well, how y'all get here?
I'll use that 5 minutes to learn underwater basket weaving. I'll use that for something else that's more useful than that information.
Because
something more useful than that information.
I mean, I am all for, free speech.
You don't have to be for.
I am all for free speech. I am all for people having platforms to express themselves. Like, that's the beauty of living in America, is that everyone has a voice and they can use it freely.
Everyone shouldn't have a voice.
But I feel like just possibly perhaps we need to reevaluate some of these like platforms and voices that get amplified, because what is this? What is it? Honestly, truly, what is it? I was perplexed. I didn't see the reason. I didn't understand. I didn't get it. Like, just maybe someone that understands can explain it to me, but I just didn't understand for myself personally. It was weird. But yeah, moving on. So Tyler Perry is apparently on the internet trolling our opinions on whether we want to see a third Why Did I Get Married? We don't. Respectfully.
The second one was a lot.
The second one was a lot. Okay?
It was a lot.
A lot.
It was excessive amount of drama that was unnecessary.
I never watched the second one. Like, if I see the first... Huh?
You saw the second one?
No, I never watch it. Like, when it comes on TV.
You never watch it?
Like after I saw it in the movie, like, nah. I've never had the desire to watch it again. Like, when the first one comes on rerun, sure, I'll watch that. That second
first one's okay.
I'll skip right by.
That's all that happened.
Because I don't have time for Janet Jackson crazy wild and breaking stuff up at the man's house, then the man getting hit by the bus while she's standing there.
It was an excessive amount of drama.
It was teen too much. Like, I don't know. Like, it was like Tyler Perry tried to put like 6 storylines into that one movie.
So many storylines.
It was so much.
And he kept adding stuff to the storyline. I was like, dude,
we don't need this.
Bring it down.
Bring it down. Dial it back.
Just turn it down a little bit.
We don't need this. So as far as I'm concerned,
once you have too many things happen to one person, you kind of like, all right, it's a little unbelievable now.
Like how did they go from being like the couple that everybody loved and adored to they hate each other, they fighting, he trying to take her stuff, she breaking up stuff in the house. He
breaking in the house with a lot.
It was a lot. Like, I was just
that is a drastic change.
Right. Like, I understand couples have issues. There's stuff that goes on behind closed doors. I get all of that.
Yeah, but that was a drastic change.
But that was extreme. It was extreme. I was like, well, what is this? And it hadn't been that many years between the movies, so I was just kind of like, well, what?
And after all that, and then only a year later, she's ready to start dating again. That doesn't happen.
Right. I was like, okay, all right. Can y'all? No,
you have to relax.
So if that's what Mr. Perry is trying to serve for the third movie, we don't need it. Respectfully,
it was a lot. Respectfully,
no. We decline. We don't want to participate, but thank you for the offer nonetheless. The last thing I want to talk about before we get into new music. So with verses, I feel like we talk about verses on here a lot, but like, they're interesting. So the next verses coming up is on the 16th with Trina and Eve. And it's very clear who the winner of this versus already is, but apparently Negroes think it's going to be Trina. And I don't see why.
That's not a far off thing.
The amount of people that are like, yo, Trina going to wash Eve. Where?
I'm saying that.
How?
I feel that way. I don't feel that way, but I fully understand my New York bias. I'm fully engulfed.
Don't do drugs, kids.
I fully understand my New York bias. Why I say that is
I cannot spit a single Trina verse to this day.
Correct. You're also from New York. It doesn't count.
And what about it?
The point I'm making is...
And what about it?
Trina and Down South, they know Trina a lot more than they know Eve.
I guess.
It's just like how DMX and Snoop Dogg was kind of West versus East. This is kind of New York versus South.
I guess. Or East Coast, because she's from Philadelphia.
New York from...
Eve is from Philly.
Well, Northeast versus South.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I said New York because she was a Rough Riders, and we could
yeah, I understand, but she reps Philly.
But like Northeast, we know we rep Eve hard. We know a lot of these songs. We go hard with that and everything. And this was at a time when like it was really divided in terms of music. Like nowadays, you can kind of hear a lot more Down South music now, and like we're like it's a lot more blended. Like of course you have some music that like it's very regional, but there's a lot of music that most coast here. Yeah. Back then, you heard most Northeast music in the Northeast. You went down south, you didn't really hear a lot of Eve, Rough Riders. You heard a lot of what's it called, Master P, and Cash Money and Trina. So it's like it's really regional. And Trina to Down South, she's been putting out albums for a long time.
She really has. And what's his name? Kid Fury that is on the Read loves her.
Trina stopped and Eve stopped and Trina kept putting music out. So like she's been putting out music for a long time. She put out a song recently.
Yeah.
So I understand perspective wise. I understand what's being said. If you go by there's like. If I went by if I go to Tidal and went to like Trina's top songs, I'm pretty sure I don't know that many of them.
That's what I'm saying. I'm about to be in that versus like I don't know what this is because I don't know a lot of Trina songs. I'm not even being funny. But I remember when Trina was like when I was watching in my 106 and Park days, and Trina had a lot of songs back then. Like I used to see her all the time, but like I can't. If I had to rap a Trina song to save my life, I would die because I don't.
Correct.
I don't know any.
But I also understand that is me. That is me from New York, but like I'm pretty sure like that.
The Florida contingent of people goes up for Trina.
Correct,
they do.
And like and she like so it's like she released the album in 2019.
Good for her.
2018, 2017, 2016. Like she's released a lot of albums.
Yeah. Eve hasn't given us an album since
for a while.
2013.
Yeah.
And it was like 11 years between that and the third one.
She like and that was like so it's like it's different.
Yes, but what I do know, one thing's for certain and two things for sure: Eve Jihan Jeffers Cooper is gonna win that versus. I don't know what you kids are talking about, but I tell people, you know, if you want to argue with me about Eve versus Trina, just go listen to the My Chick Bad remix. Who ended the song? Eve. You want to know why? Because her verse was the best.
She is a better lyricist, bar none.
Because Florida rappers,
bar none, she was a better rapper.
No shade, but it's like I feel like Trina and like a lot of the Florida female rappers, like them and the beat be in an argument sometimes. It's like they don't ride the beat in the way that I like for a rapper to ride the beat, and it's I think that's why I can't really get into Trina, because the way she raps, it's like it sounds like her and the beat are fighting, and I want them to be in harmony instead of not, and so I can't get with it. It's very, very stress inducing for me as a person. So nah, I'm good on the whole thing.
Yeah, so it's like I understand. So like I understand where that comes from. It's not a shocking thing that they that someone has made that statement. Like I'm not shocked by that. Like I'm actually like certain songs I know that it's gonna be crazy when it gets played for Eve. That like it's like I said, it's gonna be a clear thing. Like even like what's it called? When they play You Got Me. Mm-hmm. Like he was in that song.
Yes.
So like it's certain things that like she has killed it.
Yes. When listen, who's that girl? Tambourine.
Love Is Blind.
Like Eve got songs, okay? Yeah. So
and she has a lot of songs with the Locks and stuff like that. Yeah, so like she has a lot of things.
She has songs. I'm ready to receive everything that Miss Philadelphia Eve is giving to the girls. I'm ready. I'm not hating on Trina. I just don't.
Yeah, like
I just don't see it for her.
I understand, but I'm not shocked when people say that. Like I'm not. If someone says that, I'm not thrown off.
But if they throw this in Miami, I know it's going to be mad biased. So
yeah,
let's see where they're going. I hope they have it in a neutral location. I hope.
Yeah, like I can see why someone would say that. And someone was like, "Oh, why are they doing this versus? They have different styles." I'm like, that's how they want the verses to be. They don't want it to be the same style.
Right.
Like because they realize that with the same style, people don't like it that much. Honestly, mm-hmm. Like a lot of people didn't like the Method Man, Redman because they're very similar.
Yeah, but it was two friends jamming.
Yeah,
yes,
which was the concert.
Yes, that's what we came to see. Came to see a concert.
Yeah.
So that was basically everything I think that I wanted to talk about. Before we get out of here, let's talk new music. So 3 we wanted to highlight Lloyd Banks of G Unit fame. Lloyd Banks was always my favorite G Unit member, by the way.
That's most people.
Yeah, I always like Lloyd Banks the best. Like 50 Cent, I was just like, all right, he's a star, but like I don't really like him. And Tony Yayo was cool too. And what was the one? Young Buck, he was cool too. But Lloyd Banks was always my favorite. So he put out an album, The Course of the Inevitable. From what I've heard so far, like lyrics wise, I like it. Sound mixing wise,
yeah,
it's giving me.
It could be mixed better.
It's giving could use some work. But other than that, he hasn't put out like a full out album in many years. So salute to him for that. And that's gonna be my new stuff to bump. The Migos put out Culture 3.
Have you heard it? Yeah.
I haven't had a chance to get into it, but I did see a video of them freestyling on some interview.
How was it? I heard
it was not bad.
Okay.
I did not hate it.
Like they're the.
I did not hate it. I was
better
like, okay.
rappers of that style.
Yes, I was
they're the better of the rappers of that style.
I was like, all right, I'm not mad. So I will check out Culture 3 and see what's up. But if you're looking for some, trap Southern Atlanta hip hop from the kings of mumble rap, well, not with the princes, Future's the king. Get into Culture 3. And then Emotional Oranges, they put out the Juice Box, and they've got a lot of cool features on there. So
manager, aka Rory.
Yes, manager is Rory Farrell of the new Rory and Maul podcast,
which is out now. Get
into it. But yeah, they've got some good features on that album, so I think I'm gonna enjoy listening to that as well.
Word.
So yeah, if y'all looking for some stuff to get into those 3. It'll bless you. I hope. I pray. All right, y'all. We gonna go on ahead and get on out of here.
Word.
It's been great. We thank you so much for participating with us.
We appreciate all of y'all.
We appreciate your support. We love you so much. And happy Juneteenth.
Yeah,
happy Juneteenth. Because it's coming up this coming weekend. So happy Juneteenth. I hope y'all go do blackity black things. And, just celebrate being great.
Yeah. The timeline of like how that whole thing is it's interesting. It makes sense. It's not as... Because the timeline of like the whole ending of slavery, I don't know. I think a lot of people don't put together the timeline. A lot of people think it was like the Civil War happened, then Emancipation Proclamation happened, then 2 years later, Juneteenth happened. Mm-hmm. The reality is, Civil War started before Emancipation Proclamation. While it was still going on, what's it called? Lincoln freed the slaves so they can be part of the army. Mm-hmm. So
black people always got to come in and sweep to save everything. So every time
he put that out in to be free in January. Of course, it wasn't everybody in the nation because the war was still going on. The war didn't end like so Emancipation Proclamation was in January 1st, 2013. I'm not 1863. 18.
I was like, that's late, 2013.
You know what I'm talking about. 1880.
1863? 1865?
1863 sounds right to me.
1863 seems correct.
Emancipation Proclamation. Let me just check. It sounds right.
To show history.
1867. 1863.
It is.
January 1st is when it was started off, right? The war didn't end in reality till like April 1865.
Mm-hmm.
And then, and it ended, well, let's rephrase that. General Lee said, hey, no more slavery. We retreat. Mm-hmm. Retreated. General Lee is a person who said, like, no, we're retreating. And that was in like April 1865 in Texas. Juneteenth happened that same year, 1865. The reality is some slaves are still happening. Do you know that slavery didn't end for Native Americans till like December of that year? Because Native Americans still had slaves till December of that same year.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, I was reading up. I was like, oh, so Native Americans had slavery still a little bit after.
Well then,
Native Americans had slaves till like December of 1865.
Interesting.
Yes, but yeah, that was the timeline. But anyway, we're gonna catch you later.
Word.
All right, and until next time.
We bid you adieu. We out.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah.
It's the All Love, No Fear podcast.
Hey.
It's the All Love, No Fear podcast. Check us out. It's the All Love, No Fear podcast.